Use the order of operations to simplify the following expressions. We are only doing part B here, so let's cover up part A. Now let's look at our order of operations. I'm going to split up my workspace, and my first step is parentheses. Well, there's no parentheses in my expression. Next is exponents, and there's also no exponents in my expression. Next is multiply or divide. So I look at my expression from left to right, and I see there is some division. So that's the step I'm going to do first. So let's set up some space for me to do my division, and I'm doing 120 divided by 10. So watch the division steps. And my answer is 12. So 120 divided by 10 is 12. So let's go back over to my expression, and this becomes 5.2 minus 12. I'm done with multiply or divide. My last step is to add or subtract, and that's all I have left is subtraction. So I'm going to set up some space to do the subtraction. Now I'm drawing a number line here because if you notice, I'm doing 5.2 minus 12. So I have 5.2, but I'm trying to minus 12, but 12 is bigger than 5.2. So I'm using the number line to illustrate that we're going to get a negative answer. So on my number line, I'm going to put 0 and 5.2. So I put 5 as a little benchmark, but then you could see 5.2 would be slightly to the right of 5. If I'm going to minus 12, I need to move 12 spaces to the left, or 12 units to the left on my number line. Well, I'm only 5.2 units away from 0. So if I'm going 12 units to the left, as soon as I go more than 5.2 units, I'm going to be into the negative numbers. So I know my answer is going to be negative. So the subtraction problem I'm going to set up is really 12 minus 5.2. Because when we subtract integers, what we do is we take their absolute values. So we just pretend this is a 5.2 and a 12. In order to subtract those, I would have to start with 12 and do 12 minus 5.2. Well, I can't do 12 minus 5.2 until I add a 0 in that spot. So that's 12.0 minus 5.2. Watch the subtraction. And that gives me 6.8. But remember, I'm really doing 5.2 minus 12. So that 6.8 is going to turn into a negative 6.8. Let's go back and look at the number line. So 5.2 minus 12 equals negative 6.8, because if I were to move 12 units to the left, I would land on negative 6.8, because I would be to the left of 0. So my final answer is negative 6.8.